Good. I'm from Valencia. I was born here, and hopefully I will never live here, man. I love it here. For me, like North America is way too much. Europe is beautiful, but Valencia is cheaper, you know. But life here is good. Everyone's happy, man. This would be the control room that I use for the professional recordings. The name of this studio actually is Nova Studios, and this would be where the magic happens. Yeah, as you can see, it basically has everything a professional studio has. I would spend some time explaining things, but it's useless. You got everything, the preamps, the speakers, the controllers, everything is in here. And this is where the post-production magic would happen. And then you have the main room, which right now we set up in order to film a little podcast / interview with my man in here. We place the coach in here, but this would be usually the room where we record instruments. So of course this studio is specifically designed for drums, but this can easily fit a whole band. So you can have the bass player in there, the guitar player in there, we got the piano. This is what I would use to do things that are a little bit more serious for me, like for example videos on YouTube where I want the best quality available. For what I do on Instagram, however, if I decide to use a lot of quality, I cannot produce as much quantity. And that can be a very huge problem, because with social media, it's always about consistency more than it is about quality. You know, you need to post a lot of things, not a lot of good things, just a lot of things. That has more value than providing very little content that has a lot of quality. That never worked for me, and as soon as I started and I changed the formula and I started producing videos on my own with lower quality, but it's still acceptable, that's when it started to work. However, of course, as a professional, you need a place to do professional things, and that would be this room. This would be actually the amateur studio that I was talking about. So this is where I practice, this is where the daily routine happens, and as you can see, it's basically like a stage. And again, it's treated acoustically, but the whole place is actually very cheap and very manual, you know. This is just wood, the floors are cheap as f***, everything is basically done by me, so it may look good on camera, but truth is it is actually very, very simple to do. I sleep right there. That is where I sleep, and then I wake up, I have some coffee, and I go in here, and I don't go out for anything in the world. In here, I'm only using this microphone. I've been using it for 6 years. There's a little bad guy in here. It's a microphone that you use in order to record the whole drum kit with a standard quality, actually very good. And I use a USB cable in order to plug it to my working computer, which I only use in order to record this. So this would be everything that I need in order to produce content. I've never wanted to be a musician, and I was studying at university. I was very good, and I really liked some of the topics that they offered, that I loved it. But the government in here in Spain, they are crazy about the education laws. We got plenty of education laws, they just play with that like it's nothing. And one of the changes, it required the student to be present. I couldn't be present because in order for me to pay all the things, I had to play. Actually, I was using my skills as a musician to provide some money, and I was playing with some bands. The bad thing is that on a very amateur level, you can get the money, but you don't get a contract. You're not going to get a contract for getting 50 euros on a jam. No one is going to do that. So I couldn't demonstrate that I was working, and that was the reason why I was not going to the university. And I had a couple bands that were providing me with good money, and I was working for them, but we had rehearsals and all of that. I was still studying and getting good grades and everything, but I had to practice and to go to the rehearsals. And when that law passed, I was on my 4th year of both degrees, and I was not going to the classes, I could not attend. So I tried to explain that, but they asked me for the contract. I didn't have a contract, so I was kicked out of the place. So I lost what I wanted to do in life, and I thought, I got the music, maybe we can do something with this, because I thought I was going to lose also the music. I knew I had to work, and I knew I had to work on something more serious. I didn't consider music to be something serious. So the thinking that got me here was like, before I go and before I leave all of this behind, I would like to at least record all of the things that I can play and that I know I can play, so that I can have at least that memory. And what I started to do was, I wasn't learning any songs. I barely learned any songs during this whole time. I just started recording the songs that I already knew how to play, you know, like I had my list of songs that I've been practicing for years and years, and let's just record them and put them there, and maybe sometime I'm going to be a grandparent and I'll show this to my kids, you know, that was the idea. But I realized that I could also upload it. It was like the boom of Instagram and TikTok, and TikTok came later, but you know, these kind of social media pages started to appear. So I was like, even if it's just for my friends, I'm recording it, let's just upload it. It's good, it's going to be good. And that's where it started, and some of the videos started working, and I was like, oh hell, maybe there's something to be done here, you know. So I would say I retired from the last band that I have, the Saratoga band, last year, because I wanted to start focusing on the Instagram and this and that, and it worked a lot. Crazy, but I retired. I haven't played any shows, I'd say, in a year and 2 months probably. Yeah, it was too much time consuming. I did a couple of tours on Latin America that were very time consuming, and I was out the whole time, you know, in a van. Maybe it was not the biggest band ever, but maybe that was something that actually played an important role in my decision to stop. You know, it was that you had to go with a van everywhere, you know. For example, Mexico is nice, but if you need to go to Mexico on a van for 30 days, you're going to get a little bit tired. You know, every country, when you have to spend like a whole month traveling in a van, sleeping in a van, and sleeping whatever you can, eating whatever you can, it's going to be very tiring. It doesn't matter. People think traveling is good. Traveling is good, yeah. On a 5-star resort, you know, that is good. When you're working every single day, it's not good enough. So I decided that I had this project and I've been building it for so long that maybe it was time for me to put myself first. And only recently I was approached by Residente, and he has something special. Like, I have something special, and I believe that being a part of that project is going to be good, and it's going to allow me to learn a lot. He's a person that you can learn a lot from, you know. He has a Nobel Prize, he has 30 Grammys, he has a lot of things, he has achieved a lot of things in life. And I think I can learn from him a lot. So I decided to go on tour with him recently. So I need to go on tour, that's definitely good. I'm going to enjoy all of that, but then I'm going to, while I'm on tour and on another country with another time zone, I need to take care of 3 whole channels that have taken me 6 years to build. And if I don't do it properly, I'm gonna lose those 3 channels because the algorithms are brutal, you know. So yeah, it's going to be more stress than happiness, I think. It's just too much to handle, man. I try to prioritize, you know, the important things. A lot of people talk to you and they, I don't know, you know, maybe too much. Sometimes the management is good, but you know, it has the downside as well. So I would rather manage everything by myself and know who I'm talking to. Managers are crazy. If you need to do this advertising for this amount of money and you need to do it, it's like, I don't want to do it. For example, a drum company, I can talk about this, I guess. A drum company came to me, and they manufacture wireless drumsticks, and you play and it's like a drum kit. They look like a pair of drumsticks, but they have like a Bluetooth receiver, and you play on the air and it sounds like a drum kit. And they sent it to me and they offered me like a crazy amount of money to shoot a video. And I was like, hell yeah! And I received the product and I tried the thing and I was like, this is awful, it doesn't work. Oh, so you don't want to do a campaign? No, but we're paying this. And I was like, yeah, but you know, people are going to buy it and then they're going to look at me and they're going to go like, dude, you lied. So I didn't do it. And the next day, when the campaign was officially going to happen, all the drummers from Instagram accepted that bribe and they posted their videos and it's sounding perfectly, you know, and they're playing in the air and it sounds perfectly. And then you stop and think, oh, am I the only one that realized that this is awful and no one should do it? Are you all guys crazy? Everyone playing perfectly, perfect recognition of the motions, when in real life I have them. If you want to take them home, that's a good gift for your boss. Take the sticks, I don't want to see them. Take it, yeah, take it, do take. I don't want them. I don't want them. So it's complicated. If you get a manager and you get those works and you have to do it because you have a contract, you're like, oh shit, I'm a piece of shit, you know, how do I deal with this? I do take my breaks, or I I try to do that. If I'm having a coffee, man, I'm going to sit, under the sun and just enjoy my coffee, no phone or nothing whatsoever. Just enjoy your coffee like it should be. It's coffee time. You sit down and you enjoy the coffee. That's something that we share probably with Italians, man. It's like these little sacred rituals that we do, and that's something that's lacking in certain parts of the world, like America. You go to America and you can never stop. You go to work, you eat while you're working, you do this and that. In Spain, it's something totally different. Like, okay, coffee time? Okay, I'm sitting on a terrace. In New York, not a single terrace. What do these people do? They go inside, loud music, the building is beautiful until this, then it's awful. If you look up, all the buildings are awful from the inside, the restaurants and everything. It's like, this is just like designed for this lifestyle. In Spain, it's totally different. I enjoy this. Having a goal is so stupid. You never achieve that goal. You get lost on the way. You see other things. Having a goal is something that it is good to have a goal, but it changes so much. You are so ignorant when you have a goal. You want, for example, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, you want to be a millionaire, but eventually you need to figure out the business, and you start learning about business, and then learning about the industry and learning about that, and you end up doing something that had nothing to do with being a millionaire. You end up owning a business, and then you're doing that for the rest of your life. Are you a millionaire? Yeah, but now you're a business owner. I don't know if I'm explaining myself. The path, as I said before, you can only see the path when you start walking it. It would be stupid to say, I have this goal. The truth, the true meaning would be to enjoy the whole process that's going to take you there. I like to enjoy the process. It is very, very hard. The goal may never happen, and if you don't achieve it, it doesn't mean that you're a total failure. I don't know. If I said back in the day, if I said to myself, I want to be, I want to play with Motley Crue, I want to play with Metallica, with whoever. You may not get it, man, but that doesn't mean that your life is useless or that you failed. As long as you did your best and you tried your best and you enjoyed every single one of the moments that led you there, So having a goal is good, maybe for starting, maybe some motivation, maybe, it's okay, but you would rather enjoy the moment and try to make, build a little by little every single day the best you can, and then just be open to whatever comes to your path and learn to navigate that with audacity. That would be more intelligent, I would say. I think that the trick is to find something that pushes you and not something you got to pull, I would say the best feelings come when you're playing live. That's the best, the highest, level of adrenaline and good feelings that you're going to have. Then you got the practice, which is also very interesting, especially if you are curious about your instrument. I am a very curious man when it comes down to playing drums. I would like to explore it. And then I have the practice that I need to do in order to execute my job as a content creator. The content creator part is often boring and a little bit depressing. Exploring by yourself with your practice, that's a very good feeling, and playing live, that's the best feeling ever. Because playing live, you share, as you do the same thing when you are creating content, but you are not in front of the people who are going to react to your performance live. I think the gift in music happens when you can connect with people live. That's where the magic happens, and that provides both the artist and the audience good feelings. And that's why all of this is happening. So that makes all the practice and all the stupid things worth it, I would say. Yeah, they're elastic, really, man. Super good to play with this, especially for the double pedal or for the cowbells when you need to stretch your legs, With regular pants you cannot do this, Yeah. Here you can open, and actually it's like good. It's like trainers, you can do whatever. For me specifically, I have played with different configurations on the pedals, and I have added more pedals than a regular drummer would have. So any drummer would have the same requirements as me, but I do even a little bit more because of the amount of pedals that I have. So you want the pants to be elastic. I don't know how you guys do it, but these seem to be very elastic. They are very comfortable pants. So when you're playing, you don't feel like this motion that's going to keep pushing you inwards, I need to finish first the tour that I just signed for. I don't know if I'm going to continue with them. Once I'm done, I need to reevaluate the whole situation, because again, until you start walking, you don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to try my best to keep the channels up. If I am able to manage both of the things at the same time, I may keep going with this guy, but I definitely need to release the album with the cause, with my band. So I'm going to try my best to do everything at once, and it may work. It may need a different philosophy or a different approach, but I think I can handle all of it. And if it happens, maybe I can have all of those projects happening at the same time. They are all good for me, and they all provide knowledge to me, and I enjoy every single minute of them. Oh, cheers to the real community. Awful beer. Awful beer. Blech. Disgusting. Blech.